Welcome back to Retirement Today. Your co-host here, Jonathan Berkland, with me, as always, Michael Reese, certified financial planning professional. He's been doing it for over 25 years now, helping families get to and through retirement with confidence. And today, Mike, we're talking about some fun stuff. I think, the 4% rule, perhaps it's debunked, right? And we talked about somebody with a $30 million portfolio, according to the study done by Chase Private Client, I believe it is, that $30 million portfolio, that there's a high chance of running out of money in that scenario. That's unbelievable with the 4% rule.
Yeah, here we go. So this is issued by, I think I see it
The
now.
official name, okay, here we go.
JPM Private Bank.
There we go.
Shazam. That sounds exciting. Anyway, the whole article we're talking about, they're saying, wow, the title of the article is How Even Multimillionaires Can Run Out of Money. And they're talking about that if you're 60 years old, you have $30 million.
3-0.
If you follow the 4% rule, they say there's basically a 78% chance that you're going to run out of money.
Yeah, pretty likely. Unreal.
78% chance, not success rate, failure rate.
Failure rate, yes.
And right. what they're basically saying is they're saying, hey, the problem is that we think markets over the next 10 years are going to underperform compared to the norm. Mm-hmm. We think inflation is going to be higher than it has been recently.
Yep.
That one's probably both of those, by the way, are supported by a lot of other economists. And they're saying the impact on you is if you try to follow the 4% rule, which is just invest in a diversified, balanced portfolio and just withdraw 4%, that's going to crash and burn.
Yeah.
Which is essentially what we've been saying on the show here for years.
Fair enough, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, yay, fantastic. What we've been saying is finally supported by research that we've already done. So it's always nice to find out that we're not complete idiots. Although my children might argue the opposite.
Well, certain areas of life, right?
That's how it goes. Now, one of the things, and this year it's really important, right? So here we have a situation where the markets are down this year.
Yes.
If you retired at the beginning of this year, you're probably hurting for certain.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
You're probably wondering, will you have to go back to work?
Yeah.
Right. And because probably if you work with most financial advisors, they just don't know how to structure accounts for retirement. If you are doing it yourself, if you're doing your own planning, right? Guess what? Your advisor is the person you see when you look in the mirror in the morning.
How do you feel? Right.
Again, if most of the data out there, like most do-it-yourselfers, I mean, they do a really good job trying to research, trying to make the best decisions they can.
Yep.
However, the problem is there's not a lot of research on really how do we really build a portfolio for retirement. There's not a lot of research to support that. And it's a real niche within the financial planning community.
Right.
In the last segment, I told you the way you do this, and you do it intelligently, is it's all about carving out your retirement accounts. What you do is you look at your overall portfolio, and you say, all right, I'm going to take some of that money, and I'm going to put it into financial tools that I can use to generate income as effectively as possible. I want that income to last maybe 20, 25 years. And then the rest of my money I can leave in, really isolate it for growth-focused investing.
Right. Yep.
That's the ideal approach. So it's interesting. If I talk to someone, like sometimes I talk to people, Jonathan, I had a client the other day. So here we go. Client comes to us with $6 million.
Okay. Not bad, right?
Yeah, and he's wanting to distribute essentially the 4% rule. He wants $250,000 of income, like $20,000 a month. And on $6 million, that's fine. I said, no problem. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take roughly half your money. We're going to put in these indexed annuities, high-quality indexed annuities, so we can generate that income for, a good long period of time.
Yep.
The rest of the money we'll put in the market. And his response, I don't like annuities. I'm like, well, that's okay. Yeah. I mean, it's your money. If you don't want to use annuities, then we'll use something else. But heads up, don't come crying to me when the markets aren't cooperating and you didn't follow my advice.
Yes.
Right? Well, so Ezra, I don't like annuities. This is a couple of years ago, so he's not doing annuities, right? So anyway, guess what happened this year just recently? Yeah. He's calling me complaining about how his account's going down.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, let's call him George, not his real name. I'm like, George, do you remember back when we had our initial conversation and I gave you advice? I said, this is what you should do. You didn't want to do it. So I said, okay, here's our next best option, but don't come crying to me when your accounts are down because you're not getting the outcomes you want. And he's like, and yeah. And these, anyway, I'm like, George, it's kind of like this. You're a lawyer. Let's imagine I'm your client. You give me advice. I say, I don't like that advice. I want to do something different. You say, okay, that's my advice. If you're not going to take my advice, here's like the next best thing, but don't come crying to me if it doesn't work out quite the way you want it to.
Right.
Okay. How would you respond to me if this situation were reversed? Because this is exactly what's going on. Anyway, George was being a little difficult, so I fired him. Now, by the way, in the financial planning world, when I say I fired him, I mean I literally said to him, I said, George, again, not his real name, George, look, you don't follow my advice and then you complain. Guess what? You don't get to be my client anymore. I don't have time to listen to people complain when they don't follow my advice. I mean, I'm sorry, but life's too short to deal with that. You need to go find someone who thinks that's an acceptable client-advisor relationship, right?
Yep.
So, boom, off. Now, most financial advisors, you've got rid of somebody's $6 million. Exactly. What is wrong with you? Yeah. I'm like, I don't really care. I don't care how much money you have. I'd rather talk to a person with $600,000 that follows my advice and is happy as a result,
right,
than someone with more money who doesn't, right?
Yep, simple.
I mean, it's not that hard. So here is something, though, that I want to make sure we talk about in this segment. My dad, many years ago, used to say this, son, and by the way, as you're listening, think if your dad ever told you this. Jonathan, I wonder if your dad ever told you this. Son, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right. Yep, heard that one a time or two.
Yeah, which is pretty good advice.
Yeah, it is.
Jonathan, but wait a minute. What if it is broke?
Yeah, what if it is? That's right.
Then you probably need to fix it.
The opposite's true, yeah.
This is the number one mistake most people are making today. They're seeing their accounts, they're like, holy cow, I'm down 20% this year on my money. In any definition, now, if it's you're 29 years old, you're 30 or 40 years old, who cares? I mean, that's fine. In fact, it's a good thing because it means you're buying more shares cheaper. Mm-hmm. But if you are north of age 55 and your account's down 20% this year, guess what? It's broke. You are broke. It's broke.
Yep.
You got to fix it. And the number one mistake people make is they say, I'm going to wait for it to magically fix itself before I go to fix it.
That's right. Yeah, how does that one, trying to figure that one out in my head. Yeah, it doesn't quite work out that way. Yeah.
Right? So it's like, well, my accounts are down. I want to wait for them to magically go back up again.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to change things.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Meanwhile, we got Jeff Bezos, the head of Amazon, saying, batten down the hatches. There's significant recession coming in 2023. Yeah. How do you think that's going to affect the stock market? Probably going to go down. What if the market goes down another 20%, you lose another 20%? Then you're like, oh, now it's really broke.
Yeah.
Now I really got to wait for some magic to happen.
Exactly, yes.
So it comes back to where I was, and then I can fix it. No. If you're down 20%, you're broke. Your system is broke. You got to fix it, right? You got to fix it. So that brings up kind of an action step for you. If you're sitting there and you're like, oh, man, he's calling me out. That's me. And you're kind of hanging your head like, Yeah. Look, it's okay. As long as you do something about it. If you just sit there and do nothing, well, guess what? You deserve what you get. But if you're an adult, then you're saying, okay, this is broke. I need to fix something. So how do you fix it? Is give us a call.
That's right. Pick up the phone. It's 512 886-5850. Again, it's 512-886-5850. It's after hours, so you'll get our answering service. They'll get your name, number, and they'll schedule a time for you and I to talk. You'll get on the calendar with me, and we'll just have a conversation, see where you're at, see how we can be helpful to you to get you on the path towards correcting that the brokenness, if you will.
Yeah, I'm not. That's right. Now, here's the thing. Give us a call. You talk to Jonathan, and he'll say, all right, tell me what's going on. And then he will help connect you with an advisor in our office who absolutely for free, no obligation, can help put together a personalized Retire Right report to help you identify the steps you can take to get yourself on the right path.
Yep.
Why would you not want to do that? I mean, in the back of your mind, you know you need to do this. Let's just get this call done, right? 512-886-5850. All right, don't go anywhere. When we come back, I'm going to give you 3 things you should be doing right now with your planning.